All right, Jimmy out alone, Randy McKay, each and every week with his NFL best bets, a 2-1 week last week. And damn, Randy, where'd all the damn points come from, huh? I mean, Sunday was unbelievable. 12-1 overrun where you combine the 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern kickoffs.
Yeah, that happens, early in the NFL season. I think we even seen that last year where a bunch of overs hit, and then you hear the books complaining that they get destroyed, and they get destroyed when favorites and overs start coming in like that, especially the overs. So might see some adjustments this week in the totals. So going to look at one of them so far and maybe a few later, but you'll see that as well. And unfortunately, New England didn't work out for us. A little disappointed with the team. Too tough where they probably could have. They could have came in and covered there too. But a little disappointed on Belichick. Might have to drop him a little bit. My coaching ratings, not going for it, 4th and short, and punting. Third quarter when they needed some momentum. And then not going for 2 down 14. We know that's a 4% edge to go for 2 there. So, yeah, I might have to put Harbaugh ahead of him right now.
All right, yeah, Harbaugh did a hell of a job going into Cincinnati with the banged up, but Joe Burrow's injury is an obvious thing there. But we look at the total for your first pick, your first of 3 picks this week, and let's go to the game in San Francisco. Well, the Giants certainly got way more aggressive when they were down big at halftime. I mean, first play from scrimmage, second half, they are airing it out, bombs away, and they kept going the whole time. Biggest comeback in Giants history. They've been playing football in New York for quite some time with the New York Football Giants. Now you're looking at a total for San Francisco 10.5 and 45 against the Giants.
Yeah, still like this total, even though it's come down from the 46 opener, which I took already myself. The short week, the Lions had a last-ditch effort there to get that win. Got me a couple survivors in. Probably got a lot of you out there survivors in. So I saved a couple there, so that was nice. The short comeback off a tough week for the Giants going to be tough. And then look at their injury report. Barkley went down. They still got multiple offensive linemen, questionable for this game. And you see the San Francisco team has a pretty dominant defense, one of the better defenses here. They could limit what the Giants want to do with the RPO with Jones. How much is Daboll going to risk Jones in this game? I think he'll play ahead and might even, not be so aggressive in this game and look for the future because, he probably sees an opportunity where they're going to have a slim chance to win this game, and then you got a 49er team with Shanahan likes to run the ball. Hopefully he can control the clock. That's always been an issue for him. But you're going to get 2 strong defensive fronts here. So I see this being, an under 46 slobber knocker and maybe even the Giants waving the white flag if we see them get down double digits in the second half. So
yeah, don't forget to get extra value this football season with the BetRivers Squares. You can win up to $10,000 in bonus money. Just bet a $10 same-game parlay on any game with the Squares icon to earn a square. That's brought to you by our friends over at BetRivers. Let's get to your next 2 picks, and let's go to the Baltimore and Colts. It's the Battle of Baltimore. Baltimore, the original team and their the original team and their current team going at it. And well, we talked about Anthony Richardson. So those collisions when he runs are rough. He's 2 for 2 in getting hurt. So the young rookie quarterback out of Florida. But as you talked about Harbaugh, who's been very high in your coaching ratings for quite some time, doing it again with a couple of nice victories, and now they're an 8-point favorite at home against the Indianapolis Colts, who come to town.
Yeah, they probably could call this what the Art Modell Bowl or whatever they want to call, but this is one we identified when we did our your previews here as a scheduling spot. You have a Baltimore team that's in between two division games. You know, the tough game against Cincinnati. Now they got to go to Cleveland next week. So how much are they going to put into this game? That's always an issue. You know, if they get a nice little lead, are they going to sit back, run the ball, which I think they will? You know, a lot of question marks here for the Indianapolis team. Of course, you mentioned with quarterback. If they get Minshew, that's okay. I think this line will go up, so I would wait on betting Indianapolis. But at +8, it's okay. 8.5 probably be a little better, and I doubt it reaches the 10 mark, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, this Colts team, the strength is on the defense. You know, pretty decent defensive line with Buckner and company up front. So hopefully they can limit Lamar. You know, they got injuries, multiple injuries still for Baltimore. They just lost Beckham. Who knows when he'll be back? Offensive line is still, you know, not intact. So you might have a good situation here where Indianapolis can hang in there, you know. So, you know, like I said, with a troubling spot for Baltimore, I like to go against these, and especially getting points. I think this is a good opportunity to look to back the Indianapolis Colts at a bigger number. And I see this, you know, if you want to take a Baltimore teaser down and play Indianapolis, I do that sometimes too, which is a good spot. So if you're getting, let's say you're getting 8.5 tees down to 2.5, and then you got the +8.5, and you can mix in teasers. I did that, you know, last week with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Vikings game, and that worked out real well. You hit right in the middle. I did it with Jacksonville and the Chiefs. So that's another way you can play it. That's multiple ways you can play a game where it falls in the 2 and 7 range, and you'll be okay, and you'll win both bets.
There you go. So look at a little bit of the Colts plus the points, but with a little peek in the Wong teaser right there, teasing over the hot numbers of 3 and 7. All right, your last pick, and man, just a horrible deal. Covered this guy in the SEC media days. Had a chance to. He's a guy you pull for, man. He's just a good old boy, man. He just it's a horrible injury, and he had one of these in college as well. We talk about Nick Chubb, man. He overcame it, but this is going to take some time as well. And Watson, I mean, multiple offensive face masks for a quarterback. I mean, when was the last time we've seen that? It was a wild game now. It took 2 Pittsburgh Steelers defensive touchdowns to beat them. But they did. It was ugly. It's now Cleveland comes back home. They host the Titans. The Browns are laying 3.5.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Nick Chubb there in Chubbtown and Georgia there. It's pretty interesting if you ever want to read something about Chubbtown. It's pretty interesting in Georgia. I've read about it, and it's a pretty good story. It's been chronicled a little bit on TV as well, so that's pretty interesting. Like the Titans here, this is another scheduling spot. And of course, we just talked about Baltimore being in between division opponents. We have Cleveland in between division opponents. They have Baltimore at home next week, coming off a short week. They had Pittsburgh last night, of course. And Tennessee's been playing Mike Vrabel type football, you know, covering 2 straight, you know, ugly one against the Saints. And then, of course, you have the LA Chargering debacle there at the end of that game. And, you know, the better coach won that game and outcoached, of course, Staley, and got the victory for us. And that was a nice one for me. And I had a bunch on that on Sunday. You know, these two teams, you know, Tennessee's been grinding out covers. Both teams like to run the ball, so I could see a slobber knocker here. You know, Cleveland short week. You know, we already talked about the Chubb injuries. They have multiple offensive line injuries. We saw the problem with Conklin out. They bring in that big guy at right tackle. You know, he's been chronicled basketball player. You know, I can see Vrabel and company, Simmons up front and coming after him and causing a lot of troubles there as well. And can Watson take over for this absence at run game? I still don't see it in this Watson yet. I still see some rust. His receivers, he doesn't really have a deep threat there. And can these other running backs, Ford and the kid out of South Dakota State, Pierre Strong, who I've seen a lot, used to see him at South Dakota State Jackrabbits, was very good there. We'll see if he can become an NFL player. But getting any kind of points in a short total here, I would even look at maybe the under as well. But as of right now, I like Tennessee the best, getting plus 3.5.
Tennessee playing a 1-point game down in the Superdome against the Saints, and in an overtime game against the Chargers. We're trying to see what Brandon Staley we had, what the hyper aggressive, flat out reckless approach 2 years ago, or when he got his hand slapped and he went just the opposite way, did a 180, and he's ultra conservative. Well, 4th and 2 in plus territory, you punt the ball for about a 25, 27-yard net. That tells you where he is, so he's still there. But he's getting feisty with the media after. Well, anyway, so, boy, week at the all-important position of ownership, the Los Angeles Chargers. Just that simple. Yeah, Tennessee, Vrabel. Watson, it's enough of the rust. He's had enough time now, Randy. I mean, it's you just wonder with all that he's been through if he's ever going to return to that Houston form. It does not appear to, at least not anytime soon. And not having that Chubb running game to lean on, that's really does hurt. Because they've got some pieces. They've got some pieces on this team that are pretty good, especially that defensive front. I mean, they're really tough. Delpit's going crazy in a secondary, making all kinds of tackles as well. So that's Randy McKay's top 3 picks, his top 3 to 5 best bets each and every week in the NFL. One of the most respected NFL handicappers anywhere around. For Randy McKay, I'm Jimmy Ott here, the Sports Bettor's Paradise on the BetRivers Network.